Howdy folks, it's Alter here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are 66% done with this bush trip. What is it? The Clutton to Glasgow. I'm so confused what I'm even doing. I take a couple days away and I just forget. So yeah, two-thirds done, 2 legs left. Video 3 of 3. I assume you watched the first 2, so that's all the introduction you get. Let's get going. Alright, where do they put us? Let's regain our bearings. So when we flew in, I don't remember where we flew in from, but I do remember the weather was insane because I forgot to turn off real world weather, and at the time it was barely flyable. But we did it somehow. Oh, I think we came in over here. Yeah, we did, because we came from that way. So we'll see if we can use the weather or not, or we might have to turn it off. We had the whole discussion last time. Do not use that, it says, but that's where we put it. Last time we talked about how in bush trips, some of them they use live weather, but if it's not reasonable to fly in the current real world weather, you can turn it off. All these other bush trips, it's just no weather basically. The only bush trip that I remember there really being weather that you had to use that was bad was Patagonia. Very difficult bush trip. Very difficult weather and you couldn't change it, but I enjoyed it. That was years ago though. Let's get this started up because I really want to see what the weather is going to do here, because they'll tell us in the cockpit, and then we will we'll take off here. Did I do everything I needed to do? Come on. Did I do everything? I feel like that was too simple. That definitely feels too simple. It wasn't. Okay, there we go. Let's turn that on, get that going. Come over here with this one, turn on everything because we're already on a runway. Over here, get that going. Very good. Again, we'll use the train so that we know if we're too low, that type of thing. Again, I assume you watched the first 2 videos. I don't have to repeat much. We'll see what the weather says in a second. Anyway, let's read about what we're doing and then we'll check weather before we take off. Let's get a set of flaps down too. Lift off from the airport and set a course southwest. Gain a visual of the Firth of Tay, into which flows the River Tay, Scotland's largest river. Dundee, Scotland's 4th most populous city. Dundee, Scotland's 4th most populous city, is located on the north shore of the Firth of Tay. Dundee was an important location during the Industrial Revolution for the product of jute, a natural fiber used in textiles. So we're going to fly to Dundee, and when we get to Dundee, we'll read about the next thing. We're doing one step at a time. Sometimes what I'll do, like I said in another video, is I will read everything and then we'll just fly it all at once with some sightseeing. But we're not going to do it that way. Should come pretty close. It's only right here. Let's zoom that out. That's a little bit close. Alrighty. Oh, where are we going, by the way? We're going to Papa Hotel. So that's pretty straightforward. Alrighty. We'll just take off. What do we got for wind? No wind data. We'll wait till we get there and hope for the best. And whoa, what the heck was that? Hope for the best and see if we need to change weather. Alrighty, we are on a non-runway runway. There's a big X, but we're going to take off anyway because it's bush tripping. It's fun because we're bush tripping. We're bush tripping. Oh, look at that. Crossing from behind. And it's a biggie. It's like 16, 17 knots. Oh, this might be like the last takeoff we had. Let's be aggressive. Because remember the last takeoff? Oh yeah, I had full right rudder just to go straight. That last takeoff, we almost crashed. Whoa, this wind. We'll try to fly like this. It'd be kind of fun. Holy crap. Flaps in. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Don't sink.
Yeah, I'm trying not to, but I can't control my airplane. 16 knot tailwind we took off with. Okay, well, I mean, I'm all about having fun, right? Let's turn around. And we're going to use heading bug and the GPS for navigation just like we did in the first 2 videos. Why not? It looks like though the GPS is pointing at the wrong thing, so if I wanted to use nav I'd have to put it direct in there to the next waypoint, but we're not going to because we're using heading bug anyway. I'm having a really hard time climbing. What the heck is going on? This is just the Cessna. Should be pretty easy to fly, but this wind and weather changing is really difficult. Holy moly. Anywho, we're making a big old U-turn here still, and then we'll engage autopilot just to hold a heading bug just so we can see where we're going. I mean, just, yeah, speaking like sightseeing, I mean. Okay, so we circled above the runway, and I think we can keep it like this for right now. I'm getting my heading bug spun over using my multi-panel on my desk. See, the heading bug is now straight up. And yeah, let's use this right now. And I'm getting a bunch of text from people, which is okay. Altitude, we will set an altitude of 1,500 feet because I want to. We're almost already there. Vertical speed, autopilot heading, vertical speed. 600 feet per minute is fine. And let's move the heading bug back. Come here. No, there you go. Okay, we're set enough that we can sightsee. That's all the autopilot is doing for us, is just holding the airplane so we can sightsee. Because it's interesting to look around. We'll look back at the other window, don't worry, I just wanted to see the airport. There it is, beautiful. Alright, there we go. There's a beautiful city. And then we'll be on our way to the next city, which I forgot what it's called. Dundee. And once we get to Dundee, we'll reconvene and read about the next greatest thing. So we're all set up to go, right? We'll just heading bug a little bit here. And it is not 40 minutes to Dundee. Let me put in GPS the next thing anyway, just so our timing is right. So what we need to do is what? 17. So we need to take, how do I do this? It's been a while. Do I push that? Yeah. Then I go to 17. And 17, then I'll do direct, I think. I do direct. Yeah. Now we're not using nav on the autopilot. I just did that so our timing gets correct. See how it says 6:44 now? I could hit nav on the autopilot and it would follow the line all the way and I don't have to do a dang thing, but that's kind of boring. So 1,500 feet kind of low, especially with the turbulence and the wind, but that's okay. It's good for seeing stuff. There's a beautiful river down there. That's crazy. And power lines. That's amazing. Scenery on this is probably the best scenery I've ever seen in a bush trip. Just spectacular. I wonder what that is. Like a truck storage or container storage of some sort. Anyway, Dundee, right up here, a couple minutes out. Enjoy the sightseeing. You know the drill, and I'll see you in a moment. Alrighty, only two things of sightseeing because I had to step away a moment, but I came back just in time. Oh, that's beautiful. We need to enjoy this scenery together while I fight through some hiccups here and some turbulence. Maybe the turbulence on the screen is giving me hiccups. Not entirely sure, but look at that. I love how you see all the cars in the satellite imagery that are stationary because it's in the satellite imagery, but then you see like one car driving over them all. Talk about post-apocalyptic, eh? There's a bunch of cars on there. That's cool. I know the AI technology is supposed to get rid of cars on roads, but they obviously missed this entire town because there's a lot of cars there that are stuck. Alrighty, big old roundabout. European roundabouts are great. Roundabouts in the US are kind of a pain in the butt because they're too small. We do have one in rural Minnesota that's enormous. It's so big you can almost keep the highway speed limit around it, which is awesome because then two gigantic roads can just pass through and you don't have any lights or stopping. Anywho, got a competing town over there. Alrighty, let's read about what we're doing here. What's going on? After Dundee is Kirkcaldy. Turn to the south-southwest and pass over the Firth of Tay. Gain a visual on the Firth of Forth in the distance. Did they like their tongue twisters back then? The Firth of Forth. Pass just to the east of the city of Glenrolls and pass Glenrothes and pass over the town of Kirkcaldy, located on a small bay on the Firth of Forth. Even with an accent, I understand why you can never understand what they're saying in Scotland. Jeez Louise. Anywho, we're going to go this way for, what does that say, 20 minutes over here? 11 minutes. And then we'll look for Kirkcaldy, and then when we get there, we'll read about Edinburgh. So once again, hang on, let's just look at this together because that's really cool. But so once again, I'm going to turn you to some sightseeing like usual. Again, sightseeing, if you are jumping into a bush trip with us, sightseeing is when I take scenery from ahead and behind, always including the points of interest when we can find them. And we never miss anything, but at least it's like summarized. So if we have like, you know, a 20-minute leg, it only takes 2 minutes for you to watch it. I mean, if you want to watch all 20 minutes, I guess you can fly it yourself, or maybe we'll have a live stream someday. We have done bush trips on a live stream, entire bush trips on a live stream. Has been a while though. Anywho, looking beautiful. We're headed down there. Enjoy the sightseeing. For me, I'll see in 10 minutes. It'll be like 3 minutes for you, or less. Maybe 1 3/4, and maybe even 7/8. Only 3 minutes out from the next place, which I can't remember the name. It is called Kirkcaldy, but I want to check something with y'all. I wanted to see what this looked like because the train was turning yellow on the map on the GPS, but yeah, we had plenty of clearance, so yellow means okay, but not recommended maybe. Green, in fact, is okay, but maybe not recommended because it turns black when you're totally clear, so I don't know. Taking risks, that's what we do here. Of course, those are not real risks, but for a flight simulator, whatever. You don't want to get too close to the ground, even though you won't crash. Alrighty, that was a waste of conversation, but let's keep going here. We have Kirkcaldy coming up. Some other communities leading up to it, though, that aren't too terribly small, I guess, on the river. Let's hop inside and look at that one, because that looks really cool. I guess we're not going to be able to see it because we're over it, but they have this community of some sort on the river. Very interesting. But yeah, see, it's green, but if we go higher, it'll be black. So, anywho, what are we? We're about, I don't know, we're pretty much 1,500 above ground level as well as sea level. Alrighty, there's Kirkcaldy up here. Let's read about the next place ahead of time, which is Edinburgh. That sounds familiar. From Kirkcaldy, you pass over the water of the Firth of Forth, remaining just offshore to the section of the coast that runs predominantly north and south. Gain a visual on the long, rocky island Inchkeith. Okay. That I have a joke I won't say. Located in the middle of the Firth of Forth. They must like riddles. Pass just to the west of Inchkeith and gain a visual on Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. Pass over the port of Leith and then continue over the city centre of Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the second largest city in Scotland by population and is home to several historical significant works of architecture. Apart from being the centre of Scotland's government, Edinburgh is globally renowned for contributions to the sciences and the arts. Alright. Cool, and then you land at the airport. There we go. Okay, so we're going to fly to Edinburgh and then land. So So we go across the water. If you want to see what this looks like, there's the world right there. That's where we are, across the sea. And then we'll land at that cute little airport down there. And depending on weather, we might have to turn weather off or just be ultra careful, because there's pretty high winds for this airplane. Okie dokie. So, gotta be careful, but we can do it. Alrighty, enjoy the city coming up, and then we'll land. So we're gonna go over here at Edinburgh and then land at the airport right there. So I'll see you when it's time to land. Alright, it's time to make our turn towards the airport. Don't worry, we'll look at the city a little bit here in a minute. We just gotta get lined up towards that airport and land and see which way the wind is going when we approach. And that way we can make the appropriate runway choice based on the weather, which I assume we need to turn around. No! We can fly straight in. Oh, well, let me adjust this then even more. Okay. Fly straight in. I think it's right here. So let's look around very, very quickly outside, because we need to make a move here. Yes, we do want to use autopilot to turn us that way. There we go. Very beautiful Edinburgh. I love the road layouts. All the roundabouts, but they're bigger. Beautiful. Okay. That goes on and on for miles. So here we go. Get in my chair all comfy. And look at that island. Just kidding. Look at the bridge. There's an island. I just thought it'd be funny to load this island before the bridge. But I didn't. There's a bridge. Beautiful. We could probably fly over there, but we're not going to, because we're on a bush trip. And it tells us to land. So let's get ready to land. Is it really going to be straight in? It's going to be straight in. Even with this crazy wind, it should be okay. Well, that's very exciting. Because I don't like turning off real world weather, but sometimes in these bush trips, it's not reasonable to fly in it. So here we go, bringing back throttle so we descend. Autopilot is already disengaged. Final views out the window. Lots of little islands. I bet you can go to those islands. Some of them look like they were quite developed, actually. Looks like fun. Okie dokie. Coming in, just as comfortable as driving a car. Speaking of that, we got a brand new car last week. We got a Mazda CX-90. Biggest vehicle Mazda's ever made. Why? Because I'm 6'4", and my kid is 6'1" already. The other one's going to be 6 feet very soon. And the cars we have been buying, when they revise them for the next generation, they get smaller and smaller for some reason. So sat in my car with my kid, and they both were like, "Dad, we've been squished for like 6 months or a year." I'm like, "Why didn't you ever say anything?" So we spent all this time looking at cars that fit us. Narrowed it down to only 2 vehicles in the entire world that would work for what we need. And then one of them had a lease deal that was half the other one. And so for the first time in our lives, we are owning a very big vehicle and we're leasing. Just to try it out, because here in the United States, leasing has actually become a pretty viable thing. You can keep up with new cars, with new technology, cheaper than a car payment. It's kind of cool, so we'll give it a shot. And first set of flaps. And does that have anything to do with flying? Yes. Because that Mazda CX-90 is huge, but it drives like a sports car. So it's easy to get in trouble because you think it's a sports car, it feels like a sports car, and then you're easily reminded that it's 25 feet long. So that's what turning the corner in this airplane reminded me of, because I'm like, this is so smooth and easy, but driving my new car, you gotta be very careful. There we go. Did we bounce in a Cessna? Are you serious right now? On the brakes, flaps up, doesn't matter. We landed with insane wind, so I'm happy. Whenever there's crazy wind in a small plane, as long as we land, I'm happy. So there you go, final leg. Coming up, your airplane has been refueled. Well, thank you very much, simulator. You no longer need to fuel your plane. On your own, you either could have gone to a, a fuel station at the airport, but some of the smaller airports, for a lot of the bush trips, they're so tiny there are no fuel stations, so you had to map refuel onto your yoke. That was kind of fun. Made it easy, but now you don't have to do that. Alright, we're headed to Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot in this 172. So here we go. I'm going to continue. Waste no time. Take off from Edinburgh Airport and set a course to the north-northwest, pass over the Forth Bridge. We get to see the bridges after all, which spans the Firth of Forth. Completed in 1890. The bridge is one of Scotland's most important structures and is recognized as a World Heritage Site by the United Nations. Cool. So right after that, let's keep going here because that's going to be right away. After the bridge, turn west and follow the southern shoreline to the town of Falkirk, located where the River Carron meets the Firth. Alrighty, so we're going to look for the bridge and we're going to fly to a town called Falkirk. And then we'll read about the castle later. Alrighty, first set of flaps down, right? I think we can just take off. Where are we? Better see where they put us. Oh, plenty of room. And then we'll immediately go over there to the bridge, like immediately. So it's going to be a wild takeoff, everybody. Hope you're hanging on. Let's spool this up. And is the parking brake on? It is. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty. We'll take off, check out this bridge, then go to the city and continue on. My multi-panel got heading ready to go for the autopilot. I love my multi-panel. It works with every single airplane. The switch panel that I used to use is still on my desk because it's screwed down, but it gives me so much trouble, I don't use it anymore. It's very annoying. Plus it doesn't light up and I like to be in the dark in my studio. Alright, brakes to stop the wheels and flaps coming up. And we'll fly this heading a little bit and then we'll head over to the bridge. And check some stuff out. Adjusting trim. Looking at the parking lot. Ooh, what's that blue thing? That looks cool. See that? That looks awesome. Alright. Let's climb though. We're not really climbing. We're just kind of hanging out. Alright, trim back, trim back, trim back. There we go. Alright, let's go to this bridge which is right here. So if we want to see it, we got to go back a little bit, I think. Let's not stress the aircraft. And flying. For now. There's the bridges, but we need to look at the big one. There it is. Alrighty, cool. Man, oh man. Alrighty. We are in control of our aircraft, I promise. Alrighty, we're going to go around, look at the bridge, and then we'll use autopilot to help us so that we can just look around. let's engage heading. No, let's do alt first because halt is already trying to do something. Let's do 1500 vertical speed. Sure, okay. Alt autopilot vertical speed 600. Wrong thing. There's 600. That'll get us over, or up to 1500 and over to where we want to be. Ta-da! Alright, I did a lot of rambling. I don't know why. But got us past the bridge. They're the bridges. Tempted to fly under them, but I won't. And we're on our way. So we're on our way to Kirk. Was it Kirk Clay or was that something else? Falkirk. We already did Kirk Clay. So off to Falkirk, a couple minutes out. 6 minutes it says, and then we'll read about the castle when we get there. So I'm going to stop talking because I said a lot of dumb stuff that I normally would have edited out, but I thought for your amusement I will not edit that out. So dumb stuff spoken, too late now. I'll see you in 6 minutes, and then we'll talk about this castle. I stepped away again for a moment and totally came back after the fact, and now we are in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful, but not where we're supposed to be. Oops, I didn't realize I was gone that long. Anyway, hey, roads are like that in Minnesota where they go around and stuff. So we'll come back here, look at the city, and make sure it counts that we went. I guess you don't have to hit all the POIs. You can fly directly from airport to airport and it'll count it as long as you land, but we still wanna enjoy what they have for us. So here is, I keep calling it Kirkland. We already went there. This is Firthkirk or something, or Falkirk. Alrighty, after Falkirk. Castle. At Falkirk, turn to the northwest and pass over the River Carn, gain a visual on the city of Stirling, located on the southern bank of the River Forth. Stirling was once the capital of Scotland and is known as the gateway to the Highlands. Stirling Castle, located atop Castle Hill in Stirling, is one of the world's largest and most historically significant castles. Construction on Stirling Castle began in the early 12th century, and with much of it built in the 15th and 16th centuries. The castle was a key strategic stronghold for many centuries in Scotland. Just think, if they built something like that today, it'd be done, well, once the construction got started, it would be done quickly, but it took them like hundreds of years, across centuries. Also, would this be the castle on the hill that Ed Sheeran sings about? I don't know. I would think most castles are on hills, to be honest, but maybe this is. Don't know. I just know that is beautifully represented in this area. Look at that thing. Whatever that is. Alrighty, let's pay attention. Let's go to the castle. And then once you get to the castle, we'll read about the next greatest thing. So enjoy the sightseeing along the way, and hopefully I can spot this darn thing. It should be low enough to the ground that we can see it, because sometimes we're too high. But I think we'll get this one. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, it looks like there's something going on. A lot of old buildings. So there's a hill there. Not sure where the castle is, but we have a minute before we arrive anyway. And then we'll jump outside and look if we can't see from the airplane. Let's turn a bit to the left and get ready to make our turn. And then we'll read about what's next after the castle. So we'll fly towards what's next and not know what's next. How dramatic is that? Alrighty, I still don't see castle or anything. Do you see a castle or anything? Maybe. I see a lot of really old buildings, as mentioned. Is that it right there? That could be it. That looks very castle-like. I think that's it. I think that is our castle. Must be. Sure. Sure looks like it to me. Let's hop inside and see if we look out the window. Can we see it? Oh, we can see it. Barely. There we go. Alrighty, let's start heading more towards the west because it tells us to. And let's read about it. And be careful of that hill right there. What is that? Oh, come on now. There we go. Bucklive. Bucklavie. From the castle, turn west and follow Highway A811. Pass just to the south of the village of Kippen. And then fly over the village of Bucklavie, located at the intersection of A811 and B835 Station Road. I guess if you're local, you would know what Station Road is. Perhaps. But I don't know what Station Road is. I just know I'm going to avoid that because it's red on the map. Alrighty, 5 minutes out or so. We're going to look for 2 towns. And then what? 2 towns, and then we'll read about the last city and the final airport on this bush trip. So enjoy the scenery, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, we'll begin our turn. Ooh, looks like we have some terrain. So I think what we'll do is go around it. Because it's red, so we're going to go around the terrain there. And be very careful with our navigation, but it should be fun. Look how beautiful that is. Holy moly, rock and rolly. Alrighty, so. Heading to Glasgow via this valley around the mountain, which we're now probably pretty close. Yeah, we're looking right at it, aren't we? Yeah, we don't want to do that. Let's go around the mountain. Alrighty, let's read about it though. We can still do that. I wish these would stay closed for me. Turn to the south at Bucklavie and pass over the South Campsie Fells. Gain a visual on the Mudgog. Jeez, I swear, I feel like I'm reading like riddles all the time. Gain a visual on Mugdock Reservoir at the Craigmadder Reservoir, which are connected. Past have I ever read before. Pass to the east of the 2 reservoirs and then pass to the east of Bardowie Loch, a small lake located just to the north of the confluence of Allander Water and the River Kelvin. Pass to the east of the confluence and then fly over Glasgow. Glasgow, located on the River Clyde, is the most populous city in Scotland. Glasgow is a major global center of manufacturing and is renowned for shipbuilding industry. Ships built in Glasgow include the RMS Queen Elizabeth, the RMS Queen Mary, Cutty-Shock, and HMS Hood. Glasgow is also a center of finance, healthcare, retail, trade, and tourism. Ooh. Then from there we'll turn west and land at the airport. Located south of the River Clyde between the rivers Black Cart Water and White Cart Water. And then I believe, unless I've lost track of where I am in the world, I believe that concludes the bush trip. Usually it says that. It'll be, and then bring your trip to a close. But did it not. Alrighty, so it's beautiful to look at. I can't get enough of this. I'm actually kind of sad this bush trip is over, but hopefully the rest of the UK and Ireland bush trips, the other two, are just as beautiful. Nice golf course. This is definitely my favorite for scenery so far. Although it's hard to remember back 52 bush trips or whatever it's been. I should count them and put the number on the bottom of the screen if I actually counted them. Otherwise, there's nothing on the bottom of the screen. So, yeah, weather-wise, doesn't matter. Ooh, 15 knots. But scenery-wise, it's beautiful. Alright. But not difficult to fly at all. So I think we'll turn between those mountains there, in that little valley. And Glasgow should be showing up any minute here. Any minute. There's a beautiful lake right over here with some islands. So, yeah. Islands, kind of an inside thing on my channel, islands, but I'll get into it another day. I don't see Glasgow yet, but we're cruising pretty good. Everything is just so large and vast, it seems like we're not moving very quickly. Beautiful river down there, beautiful road. Nice plains biome between the two. Oh, just gorgeous. I like looking over at that mountain. That's really cool. Oh, there's Glasgow coming into view. Just where it's supposed to be. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Apparently there's another airplane up there. TCAS is picking up. Oh, there it is right there. Little airplane. Must not be another player though, because we don't have any player tags. Which I haven't said anything since the very first video, like however long ago that was. Feels like it's been ages. The first leg of this, as far as I know, I still have player traffic turned on. We haven't seen any in a very long time. Of course, it all depends on who else is on the server in the same area. So it's quite possible there's nobody out here, or it's just not picking it up. Because there used to be in the beginning with the bush trips, if you turned on player traffic in free world, oh, there's an airplane coming over us. If you would turn on player traffic in free world, then it would also carry into the bush trips. Oh, there it is right there. And so you would do your bush trips with other players. And it'd be really cool because you would like, I don't know, end up in the same places and stuff. It was really neat, but I haven't seen that in a really long time. They weren't too much farther than us either. They're pretty close to our altitude. Where'd they go? There they are. Yeah, they're right here. Look at, right there. Oh my, that was pretty close. I wonder where they're headed. That's a big jet, so they're flying somewhere, but man, they're low. They're below terrain level in a big old jet. I think there's a way in the sim, at least maybe not in a bush trip, but isn't there a way where you can pick up a list of local aircraft and jump to them and see what they see? Right? Can't you? Because that's a big jet, and I don't know where they're landing. There must be an airport. Oh, they're landing right there, obviously. That's a weird approach, though. Well, now they're churning. Okay, now they're going to churn and pick up the approach. But they're lower than us, and there's that hill there. Yeah, right. Are they going to hit that mountain? Look. Boom. They're in the trees. And they just biffed it. So the AI airplane trying to pick up the approach to that airport just biffed it in the trees. That was weird. Okay, that was amazing and fun to see, but also very strange. Okay, way to go. Huh, alrighty, well, so be it, I guess. Alrighty, we're in Glasgow. Let's start looking around and enjoy the sights, and then we'll start heading to the airport. casually and hopefully do a better job than that jet just did. So it starts out farmland, agriculture, and then boom, city, which is kind of normal, of course. But it's really cool to see. This is awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Well, gravity starter turn towards the airport. Oh, there we go. There's a nice screenshot. How about that? Looking good. Very, very, very nice. Looks like we'll have some company when we land right there. That's pretty cool. But otherwise, everything should be fine. How about that wind? We'll have to see. Hopefully the wind doesn't change direction at the last minute, because 19 knots now. If you have a crosswind, that's getting kind of annoying. I don't know what the limits are for crosswind or anything in this aircraft. Just says 40, below 40 Fahrenheit, which it is. So we really don't need that on, but whatever. Huh. I don't know what maneuvering speed is, or the maneuvering speed is 105, it says. I'm looking at crosswind speed. Don't know. Okay, doesn't matter. Alrighty, let's go towards the airport while we also look at everything. Because it's wonderful to look at. Look how cool this is. I love the row houses. Whoops, they just disappeared. Water access. Some taller buildings in places. Oh, look at that. There we go. There's the heart of the city. Just looking out the wrong window. That is really awesome. Super cool. So let's have a look outside while I turn the airplane a little bit here. And, oh yeah, that could be a screenshot maybe. Maybe that. I don't know. I was looking at the cool buildings down here. Oh my, there's even more cool buildings. Fascinating. Just fascinating. All the buildings with courtyards in them, like every building has a courtyard. That's interesting. Oh, just beautiful. There's the airport right there, and that's the runway we need. So we better hop inside, turn off autopilot, and take over ourselves. And if we don't have winds that change, there should be a runway right here we can use, I think. That should get us pretty much straight in so that we can keep live weather on, because live weather is the most fun. But you can't always use it in a bush trip. So, wish us luck, eh? Oh, I also noticed we've been able to load everything and no stutters in these gigantic cities. So whatever servers feed us stuff are having a good day. Because we used to have issues where we'd be able to nowhere, and if it was something that was part of a bus trip or something, it would just start dragging and slowing us down. But have had no issues, so that's awesome. Alrighty, yes, everything is cranked on my computer. People ask me my specs. I thought I had them in my description, but I guess I don't. It's just a really old 8700K with 32 gigs of RAM. The simulator's on an SSD. And I have a 2080. I got it before the 2080 came out, so it's just a 2080. But it's good enough for everything I do. So, there we go. Simulator 2024, I might have some issues. But for the simulator, I can crank up everything in 1440p. No issues at all. Whoa, let's not stress the aircraft here. Coming down and we're turning. There we go. The wind is ridiculous. At least it'll be headwind for the most part. Alrighty, let's slow this bird down a little bit. But not too slow because we don't want to drag this out. So anyway, my thoughts on this bush trip. No secret. I think it's amazing. I love this bush trip. One of my favorites in a very long time. I hope the other two can live up to it. And we have an airplane taking off. Hopefully the opposite direction. Yes. That's kind of funny. Alrighty. Yeah, one of my favorite bush trips. Just absolutely beautiful. Easy, which is great. So it's kind of nice to have this added challenge of real weather. But it's beautiful. So do recommend very much. And 2 flaps. And at least we have a headwind. Thank goodness. Alrighty. Keep it slow and easy. Do not land on the threshold. We'll just use 2 flaps just because we don't need 3. And our final landing of this bush trip. How exciting. And coming in a little hot, barely. Yeah, we're pretty good. Alrighty, the wind is affecting me a little bit. And there's our ground effect. And keep it up, keep it up. Ooh, that was weird. Sucked me right down. Okay. Flaps coming up. Roll it out for a minute. And hit the brakes. It should save. And it should count. And we should be done any second now. There you go. Complete. Alrighty. Hopefully you enjoyed this bush trip. I certainly did. Make sure you subscribe so you know when I record the other 2 bush trips. Hit notifications so you get notified. Hit the like button so people know we exist. I hate saying those things, but it really does matter. It really does. So, do it. And I thank you ahead of time. So, we'll see you next time. That is all for today.